Edgar Berlanga lost his cool weeks before their fight when Saul Canelo Alvarez interrupted him during a conversation. Frustrated, Edgar Berlanga ordered that Canelo keep quiet, but the Mexican champion refused to back down. It's rather amusing how easy Canelo could irritate Berlanga with cool confidence. Canelo looked to know just how to push Berlanga's buttons while retaining his own composure. Perhaps this is the result of years of training in the ring, where mastering both physical and psychological warfare becomes second nature. What's even more impressive is that Canelo's demeanor was so successful that it drove Berlanga to lose his cool, causing him to hurl some choice words in rage. Berlanga is working really hard for this fight, and everyone knows it, especially because he's seen as the weaker guy. His opponent, Canelo, has been through so much in his boxing career. You can see his experience in the way he talks and moves, so if a guy like Canelo starts making fun of you at a press conference, it's no wonder you'd get upset. Canelo has been in the game for a long time, and he knows how to get under someone's skin. For someone like Berlanga, who is already feeling the strain, hearing Canelo's taunting might just be enough to drive him crazy. It's difficult to stay calm when you're up against someone who's not only better in the ring but also knows how to mess with your mind. But when Edgar Berlanga was asked if Canelo's experience would make a big difference in the ring, he seemed very sure of himself. He even had a smirk on his face as if he knew something others didn't. Do you think he knows something? Well, Edgar Berlanga says that the reason Canelo has such an amazing record is because he began his career in Mexico, where Fig Berlanga's confidence suggests he isn't too worried about Canelo's experience, and he might have a plan to deal with it when they finally meet in the ring. Nah, I don't think so. Remember, he fought probably like 30 of his fights in Mexico, and he fought a lot of guys in Mexico who were selling oranges on the street and stuff. Edgar Berlanga claims that if he were in Canelo's place, his record would be 60 by now. He feels that having the chance to fight every week in Mexico, as Canelo did, would have made him unbeatable. He started his career in Mexico. If I would have started my career as a professional at 16, I would have been 60 myself right now, just because if you fight in Mexico, you can fight every week if you want. Is this really true, though? Would Berlanga be as good as Canelo now if he started his career in Mexico? That's not what Al Bernstein thinks. He says that Canelo is just built differently. Bernstein has seen both fighters and thinks Canelo's style is much better than Berlanga's. He says Canelo is a pure genius when it comes to boxing, which is something not everyone has. So even if Berlanga had started his career in Mexico, Bernstein doesn't think he would be as good as Canelo. It doesn't matter if Canelo started his career in Mexico. That may have helped him get started, but it's not the whole story. Since I've seen both fighters in action, I can say with certainty that Canelo is built differently. He's a pure genius in the ring with a unique mix of skill, power, and strategy that sets him apart from the rest. Well, Berlanga doesn't care much about what other people think right now because he believes he can beat Canelo and that it's his destiny to take Canelo off the winner's chair. He's focused on winning and believes that he's meant to be the one to finally beat Canelo. I feel like right now is my time. Everything is set up for me to make history on September 14th. Become a legend that day, take over the sport of boxing, and become the face of the sport. Even though Berlanga has said bad things about Canelo, he still knows that Canelo is a legend and that the things he has done in boxing will always be remembered. I feel like he did what he had to do in the sport of boxing. He a legend, but I think right now it's my time. I feel like right now is our time to come over and just take over. It needs a new face at 168, you know what I'm saying? One of the bravest things Berlanga has said is that he wants to knock out Canelo and stop. Berlanga wants to win, but in fighting, getting the win doesn't always mean knocking out the other person. You don't have to be knocked out to win a fight. Berlanga's confidence is clear, but he may be overlooking the fact that victories can come in a variety of ways, not just by putting someone on the canvas. Sure, I want to retire him, and I'm not trying to disrespect him, he's great, but at the end of the day, we got to go in there and fight, tussle, and do what we got to do. Berlanga is clearly excited about the idea of knocking Canelo into retirement. He's eager that Bernard Hopkins thinks all this talk has only fired Canelo even more. According to Hopkins, Berlanga's bold words have energized Canelo, making him even more motivated to destroy Berlanga when they fight on September 14th. Hopkins thinks that at first, Canelo was just planning to beat Berlanga and let him continue his career. He thought Canelo would win without causing too much damage, but now with all of the trash talk coming from Berlanga, Hopkins thinks Canelo has altered his mind. The Mexican giant might leave Berlanga in a really bad state, showing no mercy when they meet in the ring. Canelo originally wanted this fight to be a bit of a plaything, something he could handle with ease, but everything changed when Berlanga's attitude showed up. That insult lit a fire in Canelo, and now you can expect him to go on a rampage. Berlanga is in for a rude awakening because Canelo's coming with a whole new level of energy. With Canelo's fierce attitude, Berlanga may have even more reasons to lose his cool and go mad. The pressure is certainly building up for him, but do you think he will be able to handle it? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.